In this video, we're going to look at how to calculate the QTC. We'll be taking a more in-depth look about the relevance of the QTC during our lecture series. So the QTC is equal to the QT interval divided by the square root of the RR interval. And so to calculate the QTC, we need to know our QT interval and our RR interval. I'm just going to enlarge the page a bit to make it more clear. On lead 2 of the ECG, the R waves are the spikes that you see here. Okay? The Q waves are the small depressions before each R wave, and the T wave is the small elevation after each R wave. And that QRT represents ventricular depolarization and repolarization. When I calculate the QTC, I like to start with the RR interval, and I like to find an R wave that lines up flush with one of the thick lines on the ECG paper. So I'm going to pick this R wave right here. And I'm just going to draw a line from that R wave to the next R wave, right across. And that's going to be the RR interval that we use to calculate our QTC. We then need to find the corresponding QT interval for that RR interval. And to do that, we find the Q wave before the first R wave and draw a line to the end of the T wave, right across, as you can see there. And that's our QT interval for the purpose of calculating the QTC. The next step is simply to count up the number of small squares within each interval. On standard ECG paper, one large block has 5 small squares. And so for the RR interval, you can see that there's 5, 10, 15, 21. 21 small squares. And for the QT interval, there's from here to here is 5, from here to here is 10. There's 11 there and 12 over there. So that's 12 small squares. Now that's the number of squares. Now we need to convert that to time. And on standard ECG paper at standard speed, one small square is equal to 0.04 seconds. And so we just multiply each of these intervals by 0.04 to convert them to seconds. And so for the QT interval, that equals 0.48 seconds. And for the RR interval, it's 0.84 seconds. We now just need to plug those numbers into our equation for QTC. So QTC is equal to 0.48 divided by the square root of 0.84, which equals 0.48 divided by 0.916, which is equal to 0.524 seconds, or 524 milliseconds. And that's our QTC. So congratulations, you just calculated your first QTC. As I said, we'll be going in more depth around the importance of the QTC and how we manage prolonged QTC in the pediatric population during our lecture series. For now, continue to practice on sample ECGs, and if you like this video, please give it a like.